Hello, everybody. It's Mrs. Perryman, and I'm here with Anthony. And I thought today we might have a fun time talking about pita bread. So I'm going to share my screen with you. Okay. So is everybody doing all right out there today? I hope so. Remember that this week we have the end of the 9 weeks, and I've got to turn in grades. And so if you have any outstanding assignments, please, let's get those in. I'll need those by Friday so that we can count them on your 9 weeks grade. All right, well, let's continue onward with pita bread. So this looks really good, doesn't it, Anthony?
Yeah, it kind of does. It looks like meatloaf wrapped in tortilla.
Right, yeah, I think it really does. It looks like something you could sink your teeth into. Okay, so pita is flatbread. Do you remember making this last year, Anthony?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, it's some pretty fun stuff. But it is leavened flatbread, and really, you know, we see it in lots of different cultures, and we see it really. People are eating it for all kinds of purposes. Hey, Jaden, how are you today?
I'm doing good.
Well, I'm glad you're here. We were just talking about pita bread. So anyway, we'll continue onward here. See, this up here at the top left is just a big stack of pita bread that's been cooked, and I bet that is some yummy stuff, don't you? All right, so here's a little bit of history about pita bread. So we think that pita itself probably originated somewhere in the Middle East, and probably around specifically Syria or Jordan. It is something that has stood the test of time. In modern day Turkey, pita is still alive and well, and they call it pied bread. And we also know that the Greek word for pita actually means flat, and we see lots of the use of pita bread in Greek cuisine. And just a little bit of tidbit of information here. Pat is the Hebrew word for loaf, which is kind of similar to pita. So that's kind of interesting. And then again, ancient use, we know pita bread has been really around for a really long time. And we really kind of think again that it began in the Middle Eastern area. That looks good too, doesn't it, with the meat and the cucumbers and the hummus. All right, so how's it made? So it's a yeast bread, and as you guys have been practicing in class, you know that starts with some yeast and some liquid, and then some flour. It has really simple ingredients. Sometimes it has a little olive oil in it, and it makes a nice soft dough once you get it mixed up in the mixer. And then you remember we most generally let things proof or puff a little bit. And then this particular recipe, we're going to divide them into smaller little balls, and then we roll those out. But pita, if you looked at pita bread at the grocery store, you'll see it's made from different kinds of wheat. And you might just find just plain white flour or just white pita bread. Sometimes you'll see multi-grain or whole wheat. And so just about anything goes with the types of grains that they're made from. But you can make pita in a couple of different ways whenever you get ready to cook them in the oven. The way that we did it last year, if you guys remember, is we baked them in the oven, didn't we, guys?
I believe so.
Yeah. So another way, which I mean that worked really good, but another way we could do it is in a skillet. And so the big thing is with pita bread is that it needs a good hot temperature so that it can cook the bread on both sides, which you know that wouldn't work for like a big loaf of bread because the middle wouldn't get done, right? Yeah, but this is like a pancake, and so it's something that we can cook on a griddle or a grill or something really quickly in the oven. Okay, this I thought was interesting looking here on the left. This looks like a conveyor belt. So I don't know if this is like a commercial factory that's making lots of pita. That might be an interesting place to visit. And then this right down here in the bottom left is just making it in a skillet. Okay, so the deal with pita is once you roll the dough out, we put it someplace hot, and like this one here on the very top is on a sheet pan in the oven, and then as we were talking about just before, the one on the bottom is in a skillet. But what happens is because we're using such a hot temperature in the oven or on the skillet, it causes the dough to cook really quickly on the outside, which causes an air pocket in the middle. And as it cools, it flattens back out, but it never does stick back together, and that's what makes that pocket that we're all familiar with whenever we talk about pita. Sometimes you hear it called pocket bread or kangaroo bread. Have you guys ever had a sandwich on pita bread or made pita chips or something like that?
I'm sure I have at one point.
I think, did we make pita chips last year, guys? What did we do with the pita that we made?
I think we mixed. We put something on it with a sauce, like a yellow sauce.
Maybe we made hummus or something. I'm trying to remember what we did. Yeah. Well, anyway, you can put all kinds of stuff in or on a pita. You can stuff them or use them more like bread and layer them. And so, but meat or veggies or cheese, just about anything goes. This one down here, this falafel is lovely. And then also anything on a kebab would be really nice too, because then you could pull it off with a stick and you would eat it almost like a taco. And be pretty tasty stuff. And I love all the beautiful colors and the textures, the nice chewy, soft pita. And I think that would be a lovely lunch or dinner. Okay, and so as we were talking about before, a lot of times you'll see pita served along with hummus or some other kind of a dip, or even just with olive oil. And it is some pretty tasty stuff. Okay. Something that I thought was interesting is pita in the United States was not too well known, but in 1970 or about that time, we started seeing lots of immigrants, or not a lot, but some immigrants from Middle Eastern countries that were immigrating to the United States. And remember, we've talked many times about the fact that people eat the things that they know. And so we began to see bakeries pop up that specialize in Middle Eastern baked goods, such as the pita, and restaurants that catered to Middle Eastern type food. And people began to discover how lovely and wonderful the flavors are, as that began to gain in popularity. And we also began to understand some of the health benefits to pita bread, because it's not made with heavy margarines or anything like that. It's just made with olive oil. It doesn't have any added sugar, so it's a nice, helpful alternative to some other maybe heavier baked bread products that might not be as good for us. And also, there are lots of different grains, again, like we talked about, that we can make the bread out of. Again, lots of delicious fillings that can be put in. Okay, and pita chips. You can make your own quite easily if you buy pita bread at the grocery store, or if you make your own pita, then you just cut it up into wedges and on a big sheet pan, and you just brush it with olive oil, and you can flavor it with different kinds of seasonings and a little bit of salt, and bake them until they're crispy in the oven. So you could do it that way, or you could buy ready-made pita chips. I think Stacy's is a really nice brand, and they do a lot of different varieties of pita, but there's lots of different companies that are selling pre-made pita chips now. The thing about pita chips is that they are a healthy alternative to potato chips, because these pita chips are baked rather than fried. like a potato chip. Okay, so something we'll have fun making making this week when you guys are here. We're gonna make our own pita bread one day, and then also I thought we would make some of our 30-minute yeast bread and learn about the different ways that you can make hot rolls. You can make like the pull aparts or make knots or braids, so that you guys might have fun learning about that. What do you think?
Yeah, I like doing that.
You like that
That sounds
idea?
really fun.
Okay. Well, I've got quite a few ingredients also for hummus, and so we might make some of that to go along with your pita bread, and then we can make some flavored butter maybe to go along with your hot rolls. Does that sound like a good idea?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Well, so what? Anything going on out in the world we need to know about, guys?
What a Noodle? What's it called? Like where the assignments are this week?
Pardon me?
What's the assignment this week?
Well, if you'll get on Moodle, I put a a um, a video on there that I want you to watch. And after this week, I don't have another written assignment for you, but I did want you to watch this video. But after this week, we'll be moving on from yeast breads, and so we're going to be wrapping it up. But anything that you have, there was a vocab on there and some questions on yeast bread. So just go back through there, guys, and just make sure that you have both of those assignments in. And you should be, other than just watching the video this time, I put one on there about pita bread. And I haven't got it on there yet, but I'm also going to put one on about the different shapes that you can make with hot rolls. Okay, so I'll have that on there probably a little bit later this afternoon.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. And so I don't really have anything else for you today. So I'll hang out here in case you have something you want to ask me. Otherwise, I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
See you, Miss B.
Bye.